Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl, Grace Torie, and I am back with a whole new podcast episode. I apologize that I have been MIA. Of course, I always try and put the announcements on my Instagram, so if you are following over on there, then you know that I was so sick last week. I literally lost my voice, could not talk. It was so sad. I cried multiple times because I wasn't able to yap about anything. But because of that, I wasn't able to do a podcast episode. So I went from moving, which still unpacking, still trying to do all that, to being extremely sick, which is not fun, not fresh, not a good time, and also doesn't bode well for making podcast episodes. But alas, I am here. Hopefully, we're back to our regularly scheduled programming. Hopefully, I'll have a podcast set up soon. But for now, we're still at my desk, which my desk hasn't even been set up. So enjoy this very bland, empty background while we get into some Reddit confessions. So these confessions are just like juicy confessions that I found that are kind of all over the place. Some of them are from Chew Off My Chest, some of them are from Wedding Drama, and then some of them are from confessions. Before we get into everything, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, follow, all the fun things if you enjoy hearing these stories, if you enjoy self-help, if you enjoy just chatting with the girls, this is the spot for you. I upload every single Sunday, and hopefully soon we'll be back to more than one day a week, but we gotta move in first. I'm Grace Torie, and you're listening to That Girl the Podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in, because the new episode is starting now. We're jumping right into it with this first one titled Got Revenge on My Ex-Boyfriend. This is only from 7 hours ago, so it's fairly new. And it's exactly what it says. My ex-boyfriend cheated on me repeatedly through our relationship. I forgave him every time. It happened again, and he begged for my forgiveness. Told him I couldn't take it anymore and think we should break up. Said he'd give me space to reconsider and stuff, but I just started ignoring his messages, as you should, Queen. Honestly, valid. I've always been cool with my ex-boyfriend's brother, and sometimes my friends would hang out with his friends, so we'd run into each other sometimes. He became really flirty with me when we'd hang out. One night, we ended up sleeping together. Okay, I need more. I need more to that. Was there like this flirtiness? It doesn't sound like it was when you were together, but like, do you reciprocate it? I mean, I'm assuming you do, unless you were just like, why not? Like, I have questions. This was just a few weeks after I dumped my ex. Word got back to my ex. He showed up to my house, absolutely furious and crying about how I could do that. We were supposed to work things out. All that good stuff. Apparently, he had just got into a massive punch up with his brother. I told him I don't care and to move on with his life, and that's the serious truth. I do not care. Whatever pain he caused me will never come close to the pain that I had caused him. I'll recover. Will he ever? I don't know. Revenge never tasted sweeter. Honestly, I get it. Like, I try not to be petty, but sometimes these situations just fall into your lap, and like, it's not like you're trying to save the relationship or anything. Like, it's done. If it's done, you can do whatever you want. You know? If you think the brother's cute, I don't see a problem with that. Maybe a little weird at family gatherings, but there's nothing like weird with that, I think. Especially, like, if he hadn't cheated on you, then I'd be like, okay, but, like, he cheated on you. So, all bets are off. He lost the right to have a relationship with you. He lost the right to an opinion when it comes to you and what you're doing. I mean, if you're broken up, he kind of lost that right too, but I mean, I would maybe consider his feelings if he wasn't the worst, but he is. So, someone did ask, how are things with the brother? And they said that he called the very day that him and his brother got into a fight, and then he showed up to her house, and he's fine. But they didn't say anything else about, getting together or anything. It sounds like they're still actively dealing with the drama, so no update on this one yet. I don't think. Let me double check. Yeah, no. My best friend slash maid of honor lied and made up a rumor about me 2 weeks before my wedding. And this one actually says that they need advice, so I'll give some, but this was 2 years ago, so it probably doesn't matter. I got married back in August 2022. Wedding planning was so stressful. I was planning a wedding for 200 people, and there was a lot of pressure. 2 weeks before my wedding, my best friend got caught talking to another guy on Instagram by her fiance. Within their messages, there was a lot of back and forth flirtatious comments made. Her fiance was very upset and kicked her out of the house. She was devastated and lied to him, saying that it was me using her Instagram to talk to this guy because I didn't want my husband to find out. How pathetic. That is actually pathetic. That is some if like it's one thing to do something horrible, but it's another thing to do something horrible and not be able to own up to it. That's when you just hit like a whole nother level of the worst. She came over to my house to explain the situation to me and my husband. She felt so bad she was speechless. Not bad enough to not blame you. However, she had no intention to tell her fiance that it was all a lie. I felt betrayed. I felt angry. My whole life I bent backwards for her, always said yes to her when she needed me. I was that loyal friend. I told her she needed to tell him the truth, and she confessed to her fiance that that was a lie on what she said about me. Fast forward, they're getting married and planning their wedding. I got married August 2022, and she's getting married in May 2023. It's my fault. I want to move on from the situation because I didn't want to lose her as a maid of honor. Now, I'm having so much resentment. I'm realizing we don't have anything in common but drama with our other halves. I don't trust anymore. I don't feel good being around her, and I don't know what to do. I feel like an idiot to approach and bring up the past when I could have done something about it. My plan is to talk about it after her wedding is over and tell her I need time away. I'm unsure on what to do. Any advice is appreciated. I think that the best option is to have the conversation now because you either lose the friendship or you're able to get her off your chest and move forward. And if she starts to try gaslighting or do any of that, then you have your answer already and you don't need that relationship. But to just be there for the wedding, that's not fair to her. And that, like, she's gonna look back on all these pictures and it's gonna be you in them and she's gonna feel resentment. And that's not fair. Like, what she did is wrong, but I don't think it's fair to continue to go through the wedding. I think that you're better off to just talk to her about it and say, "Hey, I really tried, but I can't shake this feeling of resentment. I don't know what to do about this, but I feel like we need to talk about it." A lot of people brought up a lot of points. Pretty much everyone is on the side of drop out. One said, "Do you think pretending everything is okay for the next 3 months is doable?" Sounds like you need to look after yourself, have a difficult conversation, move on. Someone else said, don't wait until after the wedding. As a bride who got married last year and their maid of honor ghosted them after the wedding with no explanation, all the pictures and everything's are ruined, which is kind of the point I brought up. So yeah, I think 3 months is a good enough time that she can pick another bridesmaid to be a maid of honor if she wishes. I don't think you should go through with the wedding, and maybe that's me getting over my people pleasing tendencies, but I don't think you should. And they deleted their account, so there's no update, unfortunately. I just need to rant to real life people who can't hold this against me. I have some ailments that are making me stressed for finals and graduation, and I'm going to delete this when I feel better, probably. But this was 13 hours ago, so hopefully, I don't know. I feel like you would feel better by now. Are you okay? My first love and I broke up to go to college. We promised that it was for the best. It would give us the best chance to get back together once we had graduated and hypothetically both moved back home. That was almost 4 years ago. I'm now in the happiest and longest relationship of my life. He is my best friend, my fresh air, first person I've ever really been excited to do domestic things with. We have been through intense things together and made it out the other side stronger. We're long about a train ride length distance right now, and it's been rough, but the worst part is just missing him. But I'm graduating this school year, and all of a sudden, the what ifs are all I can hear. I'm probably going to move home, which would change my relationship into long distance. We haven't really discussed it because I have no idea what I want to do after school. I'm going home for Thanksgiving. My first time my ex broke no contact was our first Thanksgiving break at college. Time is messing with my memory. I remember how unhappy and unhealthy it was. We were kids and naive and scared. But I think about how much I've changed since then. I look different now. I was just starting my medication journey and I had no self confidence whatsoever. And I didn't think I would survive past 18. Oh, baby. I like me now. I'm stable. I take my meds every single day. This was a very hard habit to get into, and I go to therapy weekly. I'm successful and I'm competent in my major. Look different too. I dyed my hair and learned how to take care of it, and my skin finally cleared up for the most part. I have confidence in my fashion style and overall body shape. I genuinely didn't think this was possible. What if he's changed too? What if he's changed too, but the thought of us hasn't been for him. Okay, I don't know what she's trying to say with the last sentence. What I want to say is you are overthinking. You're going to be fine. Your relationship is not going to fall apart. I don't think that you should get caught up on the what ifs. It's in the past for a reason. And whatever's going to be is going to be. But I personally am someone who's pro don't get in a relationship in high school. And I'm glad that you guys broke up going into college because that allowed you the freedom to grow and do these things that you wouldn't have been able to do if you were. I mean, maybe you would have been able to do it, but it would have been a lot harder to do it if you were stuck with this past relationship where you were unhappy and unhealthy. I think that you need to lean on your partner in this time and talk to him about it and tell him your fears. Maybe not like, well, what if I fall back in love with my. No, because at the end of the day, it's about you and your self-discipline and your self-control. Like if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're in love with them and you're excited to do domestic things with them, you're not gonna rush to go cheat on them. Like you have self-control in the situation. It's just a matter of if you do it, like it's because you don't have like the discipline not to. Um and if you do want to pursue that, which I'm not team pursue a past relationship, but if you are, you can break up and explore that at that time, and then you live and you learn. Like, I can't predict the future and tell you which path is correct, but I can tell you that you sound like you're in a wonderful spot and you've grown so much, and I'm so proud of you, even though I don't know you. And I think that you just need to take a deep breath and take time as it comes, take everything as it comes. You're about to enter a huge time of transformation in your life, and it's going to be scary. Change is always scary, but you have someone in your life who is really, really sounds like amazing for you. I don't know him, but it sounds like you guys are doing well and you should lean on them. I still think about the girl who borrowed my highlighter. Back in college, there was a girl I always noticed in the library. She sat at the same desk every day, and the way she tucked her hair behind her ear did something to me every single time. We never spoke, but our eyes met often enough to feel like something was simmering quietly. During finals week, the library was almost empty. She walked up to me and asked if she could borrow my highlighter. When I handed it to her, our fingers touched for the briefest moment. It was nothing, but it felt strangely electric. She smiled in the soft, knowing way that made my chest feel too warm. She whispered thank you and went back to her desk. The next semester, she was gone. I did not even know her name yet. I still think about that tiny sparkle of a moment for far more than I should. This sounds like something that I would have like wrote a poem about in high school. And that is another sweet one that's like kind of random and has nothing to do with anything, but very sweet. This one is another confession under wedding drama titled Narcissistic Mother-in-Law Expects Us to Send 50 plus invitations 54 days before the wedding. So, what is it, 8 to 12 weeks that you're supposed to do it? Or 6 to 8 weeks? I think it's 8 to 12. So, 54 days is a little under 8 weeks. So, it's not terrible. I've been asking her for her guest list for the last 10 months. You're nicer than me, giving her one. We already invited the friends and family of hers that we know of, but my fiance has always been completely disconnected from her side of the family, to the point that he doesn't know anyone's names. I asked every month for an additional names and addresses we might have missed. I told her the latest date that I can add to the guest list is December 31st, so I can get enough invitations printed and envelopes printed. This was almost a year ago, by the way, so this was last year. I didn't get her guest list until March 3rd, and it had over 50 people. I simply didn't have enough envelopes, so my fiance and I looked through all the names and invited only the people he actually knew, which is fair. It's your wedding. Now she is furious that we didn't invite all of her third cousins 2 times removed, a son of her friend who we never even met, and people whose names we've never even heard of. I am convinced that she is just going to tell people when and where it is, and we're going to have to turn these people away. My fiance has been trying to deal with it, but she refuses to talk to him and insists on only talking to me. She feels that she can just bulldoze me because I'm not comfortable arguing with her, so she's been calling and harassing me nonstop. She keeps saying, "I'll pay for everyone's plate. I'll pay for them." That's not the problem though. It's tacky and disrespectful. Also, you don't have a job. How are you paying for anything? Either your father-in-law or your fiance. On top of all that, she hates everything about the wedding we planned. Hates our photographer, our venue, my dress, his suit, our caterer, everything. She told me and my parents the other day that no one will take our marriage seriously because it's not being officiated by a representative of God. Okay, then you don't come. If you don't feel like it's official, official. You and your family can have your own religious okay at your church. Everyone will be so much happier. Dang. Yeah. At this point, you could just uninvite her and call it a day. Just say it. Do you guys hear my dog breathing so loud? Because he's a good boy, but he wants all the pets in the world. He's right under the camera, so you can't see him. I've been doing the angel tree wrong this whole time. With all the angel tree videos I've been seeing posted and comments and whatnot, I realize I've been doing it wrong for so long and I feel so bad that I screwed up little kids' Christmases. When I finally started making decent money, the first thing I did was the angel tree. I love to buy gifts for other people and I love the thought of helping those who may have less on Christmas. I don't like the thought of them having less, only that if there was a way to help, I actually could. So I would grab 2 or 3 tags and then buy 2 to 3 items from each of the tags for each kiddo. Upon seeing all of these videos and reading the comments, I didn't know you were supposed to buy every single item off the list. I feel so ashamed this year to try to make up for it or to try my best because I'm still on a budget. I'm only selecting 1 or 2 kids and will most definitely buy every single item on the tag to make sure they have the Christmas they deserve. Now you may roast me for my ignorance. I feel really dumb. Wait, but I thought that is that not? Like, I mean, obviously try to get as many as you can, but I thought that that was just like their wish list, and then there was like a minimum cost amount, and then like as soon as you long as you pass the minimum, you were good, right? Or am I wrong? There's an edit. So based off the responses, it seems I am not destroying kids' Christmases when I enthusiastically grab angel tree tags. Well, at least not the ones hosted by my company. I cannot say for certain that was the case with others I might have done in the past. What this has taught me, read the dang tag. Better to obtain contacts from the actual program than some influencer on YouTube. Yeah, that's another thing is there's like angel tree and then there's like other I don't want to say like it's based on angel tree, but it's like something different. So like companies will do angel tree and they'll call it angel tree, but it's not actually that and it has a little different rules, things like that. Many of these programs actually pool the items together and not give to one specific child on the tag, so as many or as little is appreciated. Please do not let the judgment of commenters in a YouTube video discourage you from continuing to donate this holiday season. Yes, one influencer going completely off brand and ignoring the tag is not great, but at the end of the day, they are one person. You can still make a difference. Yeah, like for you to get so bent out of shape over this shows that you are a kind person. You're trying to like do your best. And so I think that that's what matters. It's the thought that counts. Like they're appreciative of any and everything. So I think that as long as you're helping in some way or like as much as you can, then that's what counts. So back in college, I used to make the silliest of pranks. To whoever still finds glitter in their yearbook or pages covered with poster colors in their yearbooks and textbooks, it was me. I swapped every frog label in biology to I'll haunt your dreams, put rubber glue on my seniors' chairs before their classes begin, left lists of names and private inside messages of the girls the history teacher used to text and harass on his windshield every Tuesday until he crashed out during one assembly. And yes, once, just once, switched the cafeteria salt and sugar. I also put a bunch of aphrodisiacs in the teacher's breakfast because I was tired of always being sent there. I always dressed properly and decently, always looked innocent, and never got caught because nobody suspects the quiet kid with homemade cookies. I'm sorry, but those random bursts of ridiculousness made the days shorter for all of us. The statute of limitations on teenage chaos has expired, and it's sad. You're welcome. I'm sorry, and I'd absolutely do it again. I'm confused because you said college, but this sounds like high school because that does seem a little crazy for college just because people be acting differently in college because we're paying so much to be there more often than not. Um, and it's just like a maturity thing. So I'm wondering if you meant high school because this would have been funny in high school. And I think a lot of people did stuff like this in high school. So I'm hoping that's what you meant. And I have one more to end us on, and it is a doozy. It is titled, I Lost Weight Just to Look Prettier Than My Best Friends from My Teen Years. Growing up, I was always the awkward, overweight kid. I was the duff. My friends back then weren't. They seemed to have everything. They were cool, smart, skinny, hot. They had wealthier parents so they could do all these hobbies and after school activities. Girl, I think you're a girl. I say girl to everyone. So, if you I ever say girl and you're not a girl, it's just me not, I don't know. I say it to everyone. But I hate you putting yourself down. I'm sorry. I love them all, but I was just so jealous of them. Oh, bestie. They were sort of the cool group. Everyone loved them. They volunteered for things, chosen to represent the school for things. I cannot emphasize how much they were the top dogs. Plus, me tacked on the side being awful at everything. No. Everything is about perspective. I didn't have anything of my own. If I got into a new hobby, they would get into it because of me, but do it better, and I was always accused of copying them. I lived in their shadow for a very long time. I do understand that because I lived in my sister's shadow for pretty much my whole life, and that's part of the reasons I literally moved to an entire new city when I went to college because it was like, I don't want to live in anybody's shadow. I want to be my own person, so I can definitely understand that. We all live our own lives as adults now, but still somewhat keep in contact every year or two. This is so dumb, but what really annoyed me for a while is that they all seem to peak in high school. I don't think they were ever purposely malicious about my looks or weight back in the day, but things were said a few times that attribute to teen girls being teen girls. But all these little things they used to do or say to me is suddenly fine now. Body positivity is the best thing on earth now. Me and one of them, who I consider to be my best friend out of all of them, met up for a catch up one day. I was obese at this time. She was somehow larger. It really shocked me. I didn't say anything, but it was just a defining moment for me. I was the skinny friend. Then I realized that all of us had let ourselves go. I was already at the bottom, to be fair. I just dug a hole for myself. But all of them had their priorities in their lives now, which I cannot fault them for. At the end of the day, beauty is just not that serious. Yeah, I mean, I can see why you would fixate on something like their outward appearances, as well as your own, because it was like defining for you. It sounds like there's some trauma attached to that from high school. At the same time, it's really not that serious. And yeah, I am on the side of everybody's doing their best. Like, and that's all we can do. And we shouldn't judge each other for that. There was something in me that snapped. I realized I could be prettier than them with a bit of effort. You've all, it's not a competition, but you've always been able to be as pretty as you want. Like, as pretty as you believe you are, is what I mean. If you believe that you're not, then you're not. But if you believe that you are the prettiest person on the planet, in your eyes, you are. It's all about mindset, bestie. Maybe not as pretty as they were in high school, but I didn't care. I just wanted my moment, even if it was temporary. So I lost a lot of weight. I hit the gym. I finally learned about skincare, hygiene, makeup, fashion. I honestly think then that I am prettier than they ever have been. It was and is completely worth it. I want to say I'm so happy that you took healthier steps to become a healthier person in general, not loving the motivation behind it, because that's that's not a long-term motivation. You shouldn't let your competitiveness or the comparing or the jealousy fuel you long term. You should do it because you love yourself and you love yourself so much that you want the best for yourself, and you are establishing habits that are going to help you long term. That being said, I can also empathize with the reasoning and I understand it and I get it. So, yeah, that is the last one. I want you all to know that you are beautiful, you're amazing, no matter what you look like, no matter who you were in high school or who you are now. And yeah, I will catch you guys on the flippity flip next Sunday. It is Thanksgiving week for those of us in the US, so I hope you have a great holiday with friends and family with only the fun kind of drama, no drama that like leaves scars, and it's a good time. And I'll catch you later. Bye. Love you.
Mm, 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 mm. It was the first week.